If you'd allow me to whisper the little grey left in my hair with the words of my quivering lips, I'll tell you a story. I'm in this friendship, and this friendship is like a string with one side tied around my hand and the other to this girl. But the longer I keep holding on to the strings, the deeper it cuts through my palms. But the thought of letting her go turns my stomach. I'm too scared to lose her. If only she would walk towards me, maybe I could keep holding on to the strings of this friendship much longer. But till then, what do I do? I remember the first day I saw her. It was a weekday after work. And after the buckets of Okainshi Street had drained fluids of strength from the wells of my body with whatever strength left inside me, I took to this quest. It was a meeting we had scheduled days earlier, so I sat on board a Trotsky's whose speed was like a tortoise on drugs. You all know in Ghana, Trotsky's only run fast when you are chasing them rather than when you are inside them, and I was so eager to sit. It was as if I had a ball stuck to my buttocks, and I was looking forward to this meeting like a kid looks forward to Christmas. So I got there, alighted. Phone in hand, I dialed her number, and from the shadows, she emerged like Batman coming to save the rest of my day. But when she stood there gleaming like Cinderella before the midnight clock could strike. So with confidence stitched to my body, I walked up to her and said, "Hi, I'm Josiah." And I looked inside her eyes, and were more beautiful than watching the sunset behind the horizon. And when she smiled with her lips like little lanes of land, littering the little lanes of lands on her face. And when she spoke, she sounded like a goddess. Oh my God, she was so beautiful. She looked better than her image captured by some prize pixels placed on Facebook, which I'd seen earlier. She was just supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And that's how our friendship began. You see, with her, I wished every day was a Tuesday night or a Friday night, because this night would spend much time together. We even branded it as our date night. And one of these nights, she broke the hymens of my heart, penetrating my inside so deep with her childhood stories and the little secrets, and my heart bled with so much love for her. You see, those moments to me are more expensive than a bowl of Kempiski's fufu. I remember the first day I hugged her. It was a fine Friday night, and after we had both sunk our feet deep inside the sands of the Kole beach and let laughter spring forth from our voices like some little kids laughing at some coarse jokes, I stood. She stood. Reached down my hand to hold her. Opened up my arms. She ran straight inside them. I shut my arms around her, and I was wandering in this room of hug for quite some time, intentionally unwilling to open the door. And when finally I did, it awakened a desire in me. For the first time in my life, I was after something different. I was after that priceless jewel beneath her chest and not some gold mine underneath her skirt. And that moment faded away too quickly like Maricruz and Lagata with all its hype. If only we could last a bit more longer in each other's arms like Kum Kum Baja did on our TV screens, maybe it would have been cool. A couple of months later, I felt I needed something a bit more tangible, a relationship. Felt if I wasn't gaining her heart, then I was just losing time, because as much as I needed her to be fine, I needed her to be mine. And she had started starring lead role in episodes of my dreams sometime. And just when I thought everything was moving on fine, she started building a wall around us. Her words became blades which daily cut the skin of my love for her. Her attitudes were swords which stabbed me, but the more they stabbed me, the more my knees would shake, threatening to run after her. Her words were fists which punched me, and I bled. I bled, losing tons of trust for her. I was served the subpoena, with she as the prosecutor presenting premises of hearsay and charging me with contempt, with the promises preaching purposefully propelling promises, practically breaking pots of love I had for her. It was hard to love her, but I still did. And I hoped we were together, so I would often place my hopes high above the heights of hills, hoping she would come. And yes, she would come, but only to push them and watch them crash to the ground. If only she would look inside my eyes, she would see her name seated front rows in the cinemas of my mind and her image graffitied on the walls of my heart. But till then, Till then, how long till the thin strings of this friendship cut off my fingers, leaving me with no more digits to keep holding on to these fantasies? Because these are fantasies. But if it were to be you, if you were in my shoes, what would you do? You see, these are just metaphors of how we daily bruise God. God, who out of love reduced himself to the wombs of a woman. And that's when he saw us for what we were worth, humans. But he was holy, and were bodies wrapped in garments of filth and shame. Yet, when we first saw him with our broken spirit and our contrite hearts, we clung to him, feeling safe, promising never to let go. But when sin came with its beauty flirting with us, we took off, neglecting a God whose love for us held him to a tree which he spoke into being with his voice. And with that same powerful voice, he daily begs us, yet we daily turn him down. He's like a carpenter, holding in his palms a relationship far too mended to be broken. And he has the hopes that if we would only come together like carpenters try to fix it, maybe we could mend it and make it look brand new, as if it was never broken. All he wants from us is a relationship and not us following some strict religious rules. All you have to do is to say, yes, Lord, I accept you as my Lord and personal Savior. If you were to be him, if you were in his shoes, what would you do? Would you keep him waiting? So if you'd allow me to whisper the little gray left in my hair with the words of my quivering lips, I'll tell you. Please, make up your mind.